I never expected my life to turn out this way. I wasn't exactly unhappy, but I wasn't really living either. I had slipped into a quiet routine, predictable, safe, and painfully lonely. Each morning, I woke up early, made coffee in my empty kitchen, and stared at the sunlight through the curtains while scrolling aimlessly through the news. Work was a distraction, but even that had lost its spark. It used to excite me. Now, it just filled the hours. Evenings were the worst. The silence was suffocating. No one waiting for me, no warm laughter, no shared dinners. I had loved before, had relationships that once lit up my world, but over time, those flames died out. I told myself I was fine. Some people are just meant to be alone. That belief became my armor, shielding me from disappointment. But deep down, I missed being seen. I missed being wanted. Then everything changed on a completely ordinary evening. I was struggling with grocery bags on my porch, fumbling with my keys, when a voice called out behind me. "Need a hand with that?" I turned to find two men standing on the sidewalk, watching me with easy smiles. One had a calm energy, Nathan. His eyes were thoughtful, posture relaxed. The other, Elijah, was all fire and charm, his grin wide and playful. Before I could respond, Elijah stepped forward and took the heaviest bag from my arms. "Wow, trying to carry the whole fridge home in one trip?" he teased. I laughed. I like a challenge. Nathan picked up the other bag. "New neighbors?" I asked. "Yeah," Nathan nodded. "Just a few houses down." "Well, welcome. And thanks." Elijah leaned on the doorframe, eyes twinkling. "You live here alone?" His tone wasn't prying, just curious. Still, the question made my chest tighten. I nodded. "Yeah, just me." They exchanged a quick glance before Elijah grinned. "That won't do. You can't be our neighbor and not get to know us. Coffee tomorrow?" I raised a brow. "Is that a rule?" "Neighborhood law," he declared. Nathan smiled. "You agreed when you let us carry your groceries." Their confidence was disarming. And for the first time in a long while, something stirred in me. Curiosity, maybe even hope. Later that night, I sat by my window with a glass of wine, watching the street below. I saw them walking to their house, laughing about something I couldn't hear. They were so different, bold, alive. The kind of people who knew exactly who they were. And then there was me, someone who had spent years building walls, only to have these two strangers slip through them like it was nothing. Was this the universe nudging me toward something? Or was I just lonely enough to want it to be? I told myself it was just coffee, nothing more. But the next day, as I walked into the cafe, I felt the flutter of nerves. Nathan and Elijah were already there, grinning when they saw me. "Look who escaped her fortress of solitude," Elijah teased. "I just wanted decent coffee," I replied, smirking. "Lucky for you," Nathan said. "We come with good company." I sat down, and just like that, the conversation began. It flowed so naturally, like we'd always known each other. Nathan was calm, grounded. Elijah, animated and bright. They asked about my life, my passions, not just to be polite, but because they genuinely cared. "So," Elijah leaned in, "what's your story?" "You live alone, barely come out, but you don't strike me as afraid of the world." I hesitated, but somehow honesty felt easy around them. "I got comfortable," I admitted. "People left." Eventually, I stopped trying. Nathan's eyes met mine. "Sounds less like comfort, more like giving up." His words hit harder than I expected. Elijah grinned. Then it settled. "Operation Get You Out of Your Cave starts today." I laughed. "So now I'm a project?" "No, Nathan said. Just someone worth knowing. After coffee, we strolled through the park. The sun dipped low, casting golden light across the path. We talked about everything: movies, fears, dreams. The kind of conversation that isn't meant to impress, but just connects. At one point, Elijah stopped me. Close your eyes. I raised an eyebrow. Why? Trust me. I did. A moment later, he placed something soft in my hand, a wildflower. Now, whenever you think about retreating, remember this: life exists out here too. That night, lying in bed, I held the flower in my hand and smiled. Something inside me had shifted. Over the next week, life felt different, lighter. I checked my phone more often, waiting for their names to pop up. Then one evening, Elijah texted me. We're cooking tonight. No excuses. 7 p.m. I replied without overthinking. Fine, but if it's terrible, I'm leaving. Fair. But you won't. When I arrived, the door was open. Elijah pulled me in with his usual energy, while Nathan poured wine in the kitchen. The scent of garlic and herbs filled the house. It felt warm, lived in. You cook? I teased. Nathan smirked. Elijah tries. I supervise. Excuse me, Elijah said. I am a culinary genius. I laughed, watching them move around the kitchen, tossing ingredients and bantering like a well-rehearsed team. It was nice, easy. Mid-meal, Elijah leaned in, his voice soft. You're different when you're like this. Like what? Relaxed. Open, Nathan added. Maybe this is who you've always been. Just needed the right company. Later that night, the conversation slowed, turned deeper. Elijah's eyes met mine. Tell me something real. I hesitated then. I'm afraid that if I let people in again, they'll leave, and I won't be able to handle it. Nathan reached out, his fingers brushing mine. You don't have to be afraid with us. And in that moment, something inside me broke open. The weeks that followed unfolded gently. My once silent house, filled with laughter, texts, spontaneous dinners. It wasn't just about romance. It was about presence. They saw me. Really saw me. One night, I sat on Nathan's couch, a book in my lap, Elijah leaning beside me. Nathan watched us from across the room. You realize we've ruined you, right? Elijah said. I smiled. How so? Because now you can't go back. Nathan leaned forward. Unless you want to. I looked at them, at the warmth in their eyes, the quiet intensity of the moment. I don't, I whispered. Elijah took my hand, fingers weaving with mine. Nathan smiled softly, like he already knew. Love didn't crash into my life with chaos. It arrived in coffee and conversations, in late-night walks and quiet truths. I had spent so long thinking loneliness was safer, but now I know the truth. Letting them in wasn't the scary part. Letting them go would have been.